And hello, everyone. Welcome to the BS Show, the very first episode of the Bottom Shelf Show. I am Thomas, one half of the Bottom Shelf Nerds. The other half is the one and only Joey Lee.
What up?
He will be our usual co-host, along with a rather a weird assortment of guests we're sure to have over the next few months. Odd's a good way. That's a good way to describe that bunch of our usual regular people that show up on streams. So, as I just mentioned, we're streamers. We stream on Bottom Shelf Nerds on Twitch. We also have a YouTube channel that we're too small to have a URL, so find that on the Twitch page. We're on Twitter at Bottom Shelf Nerds, so you can hit us up there, specifically if you have any topic suggestions and stuff for the show, but that's for later. This is the very first episode. We're just going to talk a little bit here at the beginning about who we are, what the show is about, and podcasting stuff we've done in our past, because this is not our first show we've done together. In fact, I think it's our third, technically.
Yeah, we did a movie review.
If you count the Mr. Warburg show as a show,
yeah.
which I do.
Yeah, I do.
Because I'm at Mr. Warburg. I've been going by Mr. Warburg on roosterteeth.com, Twitch, Twitter. Pretty much since I started teaching 6 years ago, I've been going by that name. And that was the second. Jesus. No, it was concurrent with Farm Nerds.
Oh yeah, you've had that since username since Warburg, literally.
Yeah, just about right after I graduated Warburg College. So Joey, he's at Private Joke 1. You can find him on Twitter there. His not the egg. What's the new avatar where there's no picture?
Egg. It's
still an egg?
Yep.
I thought they got rid of that. Oh, whatever. Joey's too lazy to get an avatar. He's too lazy to get an actual avatar, so he just puts up a picture of an egg, which is so Joey. Hey. So like I said, we've done a bunch of different shows in our past. One of the ones that was, I think, more successful was the Farm Nerds podcast. Yep. We ran, I think, 16 podcasts over the course of a year. We ranged a lot of different stuff, a lot of very general stuff. And if you want a good sense of what our banter and the topics we're going to cover, that would actually be a really good primer if you find this and you're like, hey, I like these guys, they got good banter, and the host has this amazingly awesome voice. You should go check out Farm Nerds. That was the very first duo project we did together that, because of outside factors that were beyond our control, kind of fell apart. Yeah. Nobody's fault. Surgeries, people moving, life got in the way.
Life hard.
All good. But we wanted to come back and do more duo stuff, so we've been doing the Bottom Shelf Nerds since June 2017. So nearly a full year at this point, because it's April 2018 we're recording this first.
Way to time date it.
Well, it's time dated on SoundCloud and YouTube, which is where this is probably, parentheses, going to go. So we'll see. The show is going to cover a variety of topics. We're going to talk a lot about nerd shit. Obviously, if you know us, you're probably one of the first people watching this or listening to this. So we're going to talk about a lot of nerd shit. We're going to go on some rants and some raves about the MCU, why DC Comics is far superior. Suck it, fucking haters. I'm going to rant about the Hawkeyes when we inevitably get slighted by people like Colin Cowherd. Obviously it's baseball season, so Twins Mania is back because we don't suck anymore.
Go Cardinals.
But they just had to cancel an entire series too, because of snow. The entire home series is gone. Well, one of the more recent times where the entire series was canceled for snow. Obviously, last year we had Hurricane Harvey and a bunch of series where it rained out in the south, so that's a different thing. For snow, it's pretty rare actually to have an entire series canceled for that.
Usually a game. But
so the city's got 20 inches over the weekend.
Holy crap!
Nuts, just insane.
Welcome to spring in Midwest. How may I help you?
Yeah, and it's middle of April. What the fuck? It's not record yet, but we've had over 70 inches in the area.
Oh my God.
The average is 54.
And it's only supposed to go up because we got another.
Yeah, we get another snowstorm coming on. Snorstorm.
Snorstorm.
Another one coming on Wednesday, so that'll be fun.
Tell me about it. I'm not ready for it.
I'm not either.
You're more not ready for it than I am.
Yeah, because we don't have a bobcat. Or a skid loader, if you're getting technical, people. Yeah. Because I live on a farm.
Yeah. Well,
I live on a farm without a skid loader.
Our first skid loader was a Bobcat, so defaultly everything.
Well, everybody calls it Bobcat. Bobcat was, I think, the company that started doing skid loaders. At least that got them so popular because they made them cheaper than John Deere.
Smart, clever boys.
John Deere it's overpriced. To be honest.
That green paint, bro, extra $1,000.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, their equipment is very, very solid, but
Well, it's also
our whites have been running since the 70s, so.
Well, let's also make our hydraulics tip different than everyone else. I hate that, by the way, especially in field work. Fuck that.
Can you tell we used to have a thing called Farm Nerds?
No way.
Just saying. We're both from a little small town in Iowa. I don't want to say where and whatnot for safety reasons and all that. Obviously, we're not big enough for anything to really be worrying about like that, but you don't need to know where we live. It's a small town in Iowa, specifically northern Iowa. And if you know who we are, because you're the first people watching this, so hello people watching this that we all already know, you know where I live because I'm friends with you. And it's probably only my friends watching this. Let's be honest. All right, so that's enough of our intro. I think hopefully you get a little bit of a gist of our banter and a little bit of who we are. And we're going to roll right into our very first topic, which is a movie we saw. Was that Friday we went to see this? Or did we go Saturday? No, it was Thursday. I left work. Yeah. I left work early because I wasn't feeling good. Yeah. I legitimately wasn't. I have Crohn's. Yeah. It was a long, long day. So I left at noon, slept for 5 hours. I was like, hey, I still want to go to that movie because we had plans, and I was feeling better. I had pounded some water before I went to bed. And we went to see A Quiet Place. Mm-hmm. The horror / thriller / sci-fi thing from John Krasinski. They say the last name?
God, I couldn't tell you.
Obviously, previous star. He's Jim from The Office. Yeah. He's been in 13 Hours, the Benghazi movie. He's got a series on Amazon now called 13 Hours. No, it's Jack Harper. Yeah. No, Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan. Jack Harper is the name of the Elusive Man. I've been playing a lot of Mass Effect.
Okay.
You can check that out on twitch.tv/bottomshelfnerds. Shameless plug. But yeah, Jack Ryan, like the Tom Clancy series character that he created, has a series on Amazon. He's the star of that. And Emily Blunt, who's also his wife. Yep. She was, she's been in a lot of stuff. I was hoping she'd be in a Marvel movie. So far, she has not. I think she'd have been an amazing Carol Danvers, but whatever.
Okay.
Brie Larson's pretty damn awesome too. Let's be honest. But Emily Blunt was like specifically Edge of Tomorrow or Live, Die, Repeat, whichever version of name you've seen. It's both. They've changed it twice. Really? And which may be getting a sequel, which I'm fucking excited for because I loved the shit out of that movie. It was very, very unique.
Live, Die,
Repeat. But we saw it as Edge of Tomorrow. That was how it was originally billed. It changed when it went to Blu-ray because it didn't do well.
Okay.
Kind of like how Dredd dropped the 3D thing.
Oh,
which again, terrible marketing.
Why would you say that? 3D.
That's like a shitty. Again,
what
that's
are we,
like
the 80s?
It's like a shitty Valentine. Remember, like My Bloody Valentine 3D, like with Jensen Ackles, which I love Jensen Ackles. Yeah. That was not a good movie.
Oh, why advertise Piranha 3D? What?
That's a specific thing because of the R.
Well, just say Piranha
and who the stars were.
More. It's more of a B, but
it was a B movie.
Yeah,
and like again, the Dredd 3D was not a B movie.
No.
That was a hard R post-apocalypse sci-fi comic book adaptation. It was a great adaptation of Dredd, and the marketing fucking let that movie down so goddamn hard.
What? And it still had probably one of the better 3D effects scenes that we had.
Yes, it's so good.
Was the breaking glass
actually
scene.
Worked on that. Yeah, where he pushes her through the glass at the end. When he's
great 3D scene.
How do you plead? And she just inhales.
Yeah.
And he just pushes her through in the slow-mo with the glittery effect.
Yeah. Dude, that was so good.
Oh my god, that whole damn movie.
Oh my god.
If you haven't seen Dredd, 2012 with Carl Urban, fix your life, make it better, go watch that movie. Fix your life is my thing, so I say that a lot. Fix your life. People making stupid decisions about not watching and experiencing really cool shit.
Been there.
I'm victim of it myself sometimes. Obviously, we're in the age of peak entertainment. There's too much shit for everyone to do at one time.
There's just way too much, what is it called? Visual pleasure. I don't know.
Yeah, there's just too much visual and auditory excellence for you to experience and put into your life. But hopefully, like I recently just got Alyssa, she's one of our mods on Twitch, into watching the 100. She had never seen it before and she's loving it. And which comes back next week, which I'm really excited for. It's one of my favorite series. Joey, on the other hand, you're not a live action guy.
I'm not. I'm more of your generic animated guy.
He is your anime boy.
I am. I got mini waifus. So throwing out there.
I was rather surprised you never played. What was that? Doki Doki. I was surprised you didn't play that.
It just wasn't like my pool, I guess I'd say.
I would have loved to seen you see that before you learned what the twists was. I would have killed to watch you experience those twists because holy shit, I knew they were coming and I was still like, what the fuck am I watching?
Speaking of a game like something similar that I wish I would have done the twist of, was it Doki Doki Literature Club?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's a movie.
Oh,
that's
I thought you were talking...
Doki Doki. I just didn't say Literature Club.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other...
Danganronpa.
Yeah.
That's what
that's what I thought you were getting at.
Yeah. There you go. No, I still think you should play that on stream. Yeah, Danganronpa is so up your alley. Like, so up your alley. that I think that stream would do super well. I could do really well because like my Mass Effect stream's doing really well too.
Yeah,
like I've picked up like
I want to say
like we've added like 10% of our followers since I started playing Mass Effect on Sundays. I'm on Mass Effect 3. Gonna be doing Andromeda next. Check it out. Twitch.tv/BottomSelfNerds. Plug number 3.
Are you ready for Andromeda?
No. 3 is so good.
And 3 is...
Everyone hates on the ending, but I'm like, the lead up to the ending is better than everything of 2.
But how do you end something so...
Okay, we need to rein it in. We need to rein it in. We got from A Quiet Place to Mass Effect. I don't remember how, but okay, we're coming back to A Quiet Place, which was a thriller, sci-fi action, not action horror, but more like psychological horror, because it's suspenseful horror. It's not overt gore. There's some strong sequences, because it is PG-13. Yeah. There's some strong visual sequences where you like see people's like guts and stuff, like their abdomens being ripped apart.
It's not like a full like minute on scene.
But you don't see them get like flayed or anything. Like it's nothing crazy. Like if this was an R, I could definitely see where they'd go with that. Yeah. But there's kids in the movie, so I understand why they didn't go R.
Well, one scene that did get to me.
Which one?
Oh, the nail scene, dude. Where she has to stick her foot. I've been there.
So
not like
by the way,
full nail that big.
Full spoiler warning: the movie has been out for 2 weeks, so. I think you should go watch it, especially if you could go see it like a matinee or something. If you're not sold on horror, like I am not a horror guy.
When Tom said he wanted to go see it, I was totally shocked because Tom's not sci-fi horror.
I don't mind sci-fi horror stuff. It's just I can't turn my brain off enough to get into it sometimes. Like Cloverfield Paradox.
Yeah.
More
you
like
do that.
I did watch it because when I already had Netflix, but there were times I was like, I just started looking at Twitter and stuff because like. It just wasn't engaging me.
Okay.
You know? Like, I literally couldn't go, well, that doesn't make sense. Like, the logic just didn't follow. And few horror movies actually get my brain going in that, I'm into this mode.
Okay, yeah.
That's my problem. It's not that there are certainly things that freak me out, but I'm not freaked out by horror. It's just, I can't get into it. Like, it just, there's always a decision by some characters. There's the stereotypes that just leap at you and make me go, all right, pulling the cord, I'm out. I can't with this.
Yeah, what is it like? Blonde girl dies first,
or something like that. You know, like people making dumb decisions. Yeah. You know that it always just turns me off. Get Out did not, and I would say this is fairly similar in that it's a slow burn. Like it's not from the jump coming out to get you. The jump scares aren't constant.
Yeah.
It's an atmospheric kind of slow tension that builds and builds, and there's these little moments where it ratchets up, and then that last third, it's sequential. There's no jumps, there's no skips. It's just bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, it comes at you.
It just doesn't stop.
Oh yeah.
And it remembers to slow down and come back down. So you see people like trying to figure stuff out, and the action rises again, and then it gets back into you.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it did really good there. I mean, like, there was, like, the action was, near the end was very quick, and
you could always tell what was going on, which is a big thing, especially with the monsters and stuff that they used to decide how they showed them.
Pretty cool.
Mostly sticking to the dark, keeping them in the shadows, probably to hide some of the effects. But, so, one of the things, so let's talk about a little bit of the plot here. Yeah. So, we start... I want to say 3 months. I think it was like day 89 or whatever. It was like basically 3 months after the apocalypse.
Yep.
You see, you don't ever get an entire explanation. You have to piece it together what happened by looking at the movie. Yeah. You have to pay attention more than like what they're saying, which I love doing that in a movie. I love them literally saying, "Hey, pay the fuck attention," and they do that from the first scene. Oh yeah. Like it's all there. Right. Especially the first scene they get back to the house and you see him on the radio writing stuff down and going through all that. All these little clues lead up to, this is what's going on. Yeah. You get that slow picture.
Solving it. I'm involved in the movie.
Yeah, and that's why I was hooked. And that's why I knew I would, because I follow a few reviewers, specifically like Jeremy Johns. I love his reviews. Very, every man kind of turned movie critic. He understands movies and can relate them in a very easy to understand way. And I usually find myself agreeing with stuff he says on movies, which is important to any review. Find who you trust. Check other sources, too, because sometimes that's how you find out if, where you got to break with someone on what they like. Yeah. So that's always important. So 3 months after the apocalypse, we find out we follow this family. starts on these kids going through a store.
Yep.
They're, finding for supplies, foraging. Yep. Obviously being very careful in their movements.
Very careful.
Walking barefoot on lines of sand.
Which is very, precise. I mean, you don't walk off these lines of sand, because that apparently can make enough noise where they come. Yeah,
because your footfalls on linoleum or stone are enough to draw the attention of these things that they hear a loud enough sound, they will come kill you because they attack sound. Yeah. And then this kid, 4-year-old, he finds a specifically to me, they really iterated this with the sound thing with the mother and the pills. Oh, she's going through the pills to find something for her clearly sick kid. Probably got something, manageable, but in a post-apocalypse, what are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
Which speaks to me because I have Crohn's, so when apocalypse hit, I got 3 months of solid action. Other than that, well, if it's zombies, fucking give me a grenade and I'll go find some and blow myself up because I don't have drugs. It's going to fucking hurt. I'm going to be useless. So I understand that got to me because that hooked me there. Plus, how she was carefully moving the pills to not make a sound. When you think about how much sound that makes in real life,
it doesn't seem like that much.
But in the context of this movie where there's nothing else going on, you hear it scraping on the glass, the little plastic container turning. Yep. You hear each pill moving, and she doesn't shake it to get it open. She very carefully pops the top so it doesn't make a sound and cups it in her whole hand so it deadens the sound. Everything about this movie was very meticulous and played out so that you understood, these people cannot make a fucking sound.
Not at all. Like the slightest sneeze, you're out.
Yeah, you couldn't sneeze. You can't cry. You can't freak out and punch something. You can't. You'd be dead. So this 4-year-old kid who was sick, starting to feel better because he's got his meds now. And they're in a kind of like a general store, convenience store in a small kind of hometown area, like a State Street, Brickline Street, small town Main Street, basically.
I'm trying to think
like a farm town Main Street.
Yeah.
And kid finds a toy rocket. And his dad sees it, freaks out. John Krasinski was like, whoa. Slowly comes over, gets the batteries out, doesn't let him take it. And then his daughter, who's deaf, their oldest kid, she didn't notice because she can't hear anything. So she literally can't know how much noise she's making, which is doubly freaky because, it's kind of like, in that situation, like if you can't feel pain and you do something that's going to hurt. But for deaf people in an apocalypse where you can't make sound, that's the same thing because you don't know how much sound you're making. You can't hear yourself doing it. That would be a nightmare for both the kid and the parents. I could be reading all those ones like, well, I found out my kid couldn't feel pain because he had razor blades in his mouth.
Yeah. Like, oh, God. No.
Yeah, he's bleeding all over the floor, but he's not crying. So how did I know he's hurt?
Yeah.
Because the kid's not crying. Very similar issue there, which was really cool. But the daughter, to be nice to her little brother, gives him back the rocket ship.
Yeah.
Little brother decides to be a shit and
takes the batteries. That's a key thing. She did notice they had batteries, so she took it out and put them on the counter.
Yeah. She didn't give him the batteries. Yeah, she just gave him the ship. Yeah. Be like, hey, life sucks. And you're 4.
A little brother being a little brother is like, I kind of want the batteries, though. You said no, so I'm going to say yes. And grabs them. And then we go to basically the trailer scene, essentially, to the bridge.
Yeah, to the bridge. Right to the bridge.
Just gets...
And he turns it on. And you hear the sirens going slowly. And it starts from the back of the theater, comes forward, which is great because the kid's in the back.
Yeah.
I love that audio design. The kid's in the back, and it slowly works its way up to his dad, who's in the front. Turns around, gives the other kid to his wife, and just dead sprints down the bridge. And it's an old wooden trestle bridge.
Yeah.
Metal siding.
Yeah.
With the long wooden planks, those heavy 4x2 timbers or whatever. Like those 4x...
Was it an old train bridge?
No, it's like those 8x2 timbers. Those really thick barn timbers. It's not a train bridge. Like that one up by the Union Slough near us?
Yeah.
That we used. That's not a train bridge. That's just an old trestle bridge.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
A lot of some train bridges are built like that.
Yeah, they're very similar built. But I remember they were walking on a railroad track at some point in time. So
yeah, later they are. Later they are.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the same bridge. I don't know. It was all grass grown over. Whatever. That's a different point.
Minor detail.
And he's running down, and he sees this monster coming through the brush. You don't see it.
Nope.
You don't see it at this point. And he just rolls through the kid. The dad's 2 feet away, and he just stumbles to a stop.
The worst part is you can't scream in pain.
Yeah.
The parents can't fucking say anything. Because, one scene that got to me is, when they heard the siren go off, his mom immediately just,
everyone just like
both hands over mouth. Just, I was like, oh god. For some reason, I remember that just clearly. What else? Just that tackle though. 10 out of 10.
That monster was huge, and it just destroyed this 4-year-old kid.
Middle linebacker to like middle schooler. Just got
demolished it. And so then it cuts to 3 months down the road. We're like, no, over a year down the road. Over a year. It's like
over a year. 490 something.
490 something. Yeah, we're up into the 400s. So like a year and a half into the apocalypse, and the mom's pregnant, which is in an apocalypse where you can't make sound. That's not fun.
The fuck.
And you get to see their daily life of like how they live. Yeah. Like they have plates made of like leaves.
They just have
the plates made of leaves, and they go catch fish on the river. And the dad explains, like, well, by the river you can, you don't have to worry about it too much because the river is loud constantly, so we can make a little bit of sound and not worried about it. Then it takes them to a waterfall. Was like, hey, this thing's loud as hell. We can talk.
Yeah. And that kind of shows like the principle of like how this works with these creatures.
Yeah, without getting explainy.
Yeah, without doing like...
Which is great because you have kid actors. Man, sometimes kid actors, they can go either way.
Yeah. But these guys are pretty on point, I thought.
Yeah, they were great. They were all fantastic. Yeah. The 4-year-old only saw it twice. But the other two, they were great throughout the entire movie. Oh, yeah. And you understand that they're kids, where they're trying to rebel a little bit, but they also realize, well, I can't because I don't want to die. Like, you get that they're freaked out about this. Like, their world is over, too. Oh, yeah, and they can't freak out about it. They just can't.
Yeah.
And so the dad's trying to figure all this out. He's got a bunker in the house where he's trying to piece together, like, what the weakness is, confirm sightings of these monsters in the area. And they're kind of like the monster design. The face is kind of like the Demogorgon, where it all, like, kind of splits apart. And you see the under armor. They all have armor. But they got, like, these weird...
Bipedal?
They're not. Well, they're quadrupeds. They're on all fours. But they have these like huge fucking talon front legs, and the monster design was fantastic. They're legitimately a freaky looking monster.
Almost the same effect. I'm not sure if anyone plays StarCraft, but more like a StarCraft Zergling, where they got the kind of front claws. Yeah, they're kind of like they come in. Yeah, something like that. I
got you there. And then, you see them showing to build a soundproof bunker so the mom can have the baby.
Yep.
Okay, and then eventually you get to the point where the daughter freaks out because the dad's not taking her on the fishing trip, and she freaks out because she thinks it's her fault that the kid died and that her dad's blaming her and that he hates her, when in fact it's the mom who's freaked out the most about it, and the dad's been trying to get her to not be freaked out because, as she says in the movie, her hands were free. She could have carried it.
She carried that burden.
And she was freaked out about it, and like the dad just didn't even think to be like, hey, daughter, it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's not your fault. And he didn't say that, so she freaked out and, like, left the mom. And there's a sequence earlier where she's dragging something, lifts up a nail, and doesn't happen then. But as she's coming down, her water is broke, she's trying to get away from the monsters.
Fucking plot setup.
Just steps right on the nail, drops a photo frame.
Yep.
And has to physically slowly lift her foot off without making a sound.
Yeah, it's
and hiding. And then she there's this sequence where the monster is in the room as she's giving birth and she can't freak out. And they use fireworks like half a mile away in the cornfield to get the the monsters to leave because an extra louder sound draws them quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was that was ingenious.
Good. That was actually pretty clever. I like that.
And then the daughter, like the kid's bored. She gets to the soundproof bunker. The kids, they're out in the cornfield. They go up on top of the grain silo. They fall in the grain silo.
Yeah.
Which is a little off for me because they treat it like quicksand when it's not. Sorry, I've jumped in a bunch of bins. More than I should. You get stuck like thigh to waist. Maybe if you're smaller. I remember being that small though, and jumping into grain bins. And obviously freaked the shit out of my grandma. Yeah. Freaked her out.
Yeah.
But we'd never get past the stomach. You just get stuck.
But even the height,
especially as full as the silo was.
But as the height of
the silo was half full. That's a lot. Was
it half full?
Yeah, it was half full.
I think it was that full.
And that's dense. That corn's been sitting in there for like a year.
It looked pretty new.
Exactly. Well,
I mean,
it's as long as it's got the fan turning, it's fine.
It'd be loud as fuck, though.
Yeah, it would be loud as fuck. You're right, that would be really loud. Yeah. So that would lead to denser corn because it wouldn't have fans, so it would be really moisturized.
Oh god, they would have broken legs probably. There'd be like a nice like black white
they would be moldy.
moldy.
Yeah, they'd been moldy.
They had to die from just inhalation, probably.
Yeah, they'd have died from fumes. It's a whole thing.
But that's besides the point. That's the farm
By the
part.
way, we're farm nerds.
He hit a Case IH tractor. Just gonna throw that out there. Just saying. I saw it.
Yeah, and then this dad's been trying to fix the daughter's hearing aid too through the entire movie. And the monsters freak out because of the frequency of the speaker he put in the hearing aid.
Yep.
And she doesn't realize it, she's a smart kid. She'd have realized it the second time.
Yeah.
Guarantee she'd have realized it.
Yeah.
But the very end scene, and I don't want to spoil too much of the end, because the final sequence is, like we said, very jam-packed.
Yeah.
So what we've just described is basically Acts 1 and 2, and the end of Act 2.
Yeah.
Act 3, because it's a short movie. It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like, it's very short.
Yeah.
So Act 3, stuff happens. Characters die.
Oh, God.
The end of it, the daughter realizes what's going on with the hearing aid. Turns it on.
Oh, yeah.
Freaks the monster. And you see the little like cracks in the armor of it forming around its head open up because it's fucking with its EM field around its head.
Yeah, something crazy.
This earpieces and this tiny little speaker. So she grabs it off, cranks it into the microphone hooked into the stereo, and just blasts it. And then the mom has a pump action. Whoa, bam! One shot, head fucking exploded because these things are usually bulletproof.
Yep.
Because they have all this really thick armor. But the frequency makes it open up, and she destroys it. Great. And then you see on their monitors the other two in the area, because there were 3 coming, and she just kind of smiles, pumps the shotgun, cut to black. The reason I spoil the end, I wanted one more scene. I wanted the daughter, not a full scene, a continuation of that scene for 2 minutes, tops. I wanted them, like a cut to black, or maybe this is a end credit scene, like a tag screen at the end, like after you do, your big name titles and stuff, like the Marvel movies do. After like a minute into the black, cuts to black, you see all 3 bodies on the ground. Mom's got the shotgun down, right? You see the daughter look at all her dad's equipment and like his list of contacts. You see her turn on the radio, and she just starts tapping out the message of, "We know how to kill them." That would have been so cool because they set up nobody knows how to kill them.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
It would have been great just getting this family, because their dad was awesome, is going to save the world. That'd have been an awesome end scene, but I can appreciate the implication that like the mom gets it.
Yeah.
Oh, we can do this.
Yeah, we
and just quick
of
pumps the shotgun, and she had just given birth like 10 hours ago.
Yeah,
like she just bam, pumps the shotgun, kind of cracks a grin. I love that.
Blah, blah.
I can respect that. I just wanted a little continuation there, especially if they're going to build into a sequel, which I doubt they will.
It ended pretty nice.
It ended really, really.
Not every movie
was very
needs
self-contained.
franchise.
It doesn't, but that kind of sci-fi world kind of lends itself to one. Like, especially if now they have to, or if like the sequel, I guess, is the struggle of telling people in a world where you can't talk.
Can't talk, yeah.
And all these people are dead, trying to reform society or something. That'd be a cool twist for a sequel.
They also kind of have their own society, because if you go back to the grain bin, the silo bin,
yeah,
they did light.
They're using flares to talk to people in the area,
and it kind of circled around.
It kind of like what am I going to say? The beacons in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly.
I really just drug out Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, my good sir.
Yeah, I just drug that out really, really bad. But yeah, I really loved the kids in the movie. They were really solid. I loved the pacing. I loved the atmosphere. It was a fantastic movie. It's one of my favorites of the year so far. I think it's going to stay up there, too. We got some great movies this year coming up.
Oh, we got some baller ass.
So I think the last movie we went to.
Oh, God. Black Panther? Or Jumanji? That was the double. Black Panther, Jumanji.
Yeah, we did Jumanji and then Black Panther.
Yeah.
Which, Jumanji, technically, is that this year? I think it's 2017. I want to say it's December 2017. I would think so. I think for sure. Obviously, Black Panther, that's the only other movie I've seen in theaters in 2018. Yeah. So it's probably Black Panther and A Quiet Place. They're actually really close, though. Quiet Place was fantastic. So, Joey, anything to add? I know I talked a lot about it. But...
No, recommend go seeing it. Starts off as kind of a thinky movie, kind of like they cut to like some parts of the movie. You're like, why is he doing this? So the kids is kind of playing in the truck, some blah blah blah. going on there.
But it all comes back.
Oh, it does. And you don't even realize it. Like, it's just a 12-year-old. Like, I used to do that. We had a broken van.
Yeah.
And I just sit in the broken van and I just mock driving.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And
it all comes back
It's very clever in that way. I loved it that way.
It was really good.
Yeah. I was going to say...
Big fan.
Oh, yeah. That's like one of our first non turned into franchise, maybe. We don't know if it's going to.
Maybe just standalone, one-off. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. Solid.
But the sci-fi fan in me kind of wants to see what happens next.
I want to see how the aliens got here. And I want to see the alien ships.
I want to see
the hive mind.
I want to see those aliens get their ass beat.
Oh, my God.
You know, I want a general to, like, be taking orders from this 13-year-old deaf girl.
But, like...
That'd be awesome.
In the aspect, there's no talking. Yeah. There's just sign language, because no one can see it's an audio.
Yeah, and they were great with the sign language. It was fantastic.
Awesome. And, like, fighting would be super weird. Just barely any screaming.
It would be so unique.
Oh, it would be. I mean, like, suppressors and, like, airwave guns. I mean, come on. How awesome.
And, like, seeing how they adapt that sonic technology that they discovered into, like, working weapons in the field in a world as big as ours, where you have to make, like, clear and hold the entire country.
Yeah, could it do it?
Section by section. How would they do that? That would be cool.
And is it a hive mind or is it a pack mind concept? It seemed like a hunting-like creature.
Learning more about the aliens would be cool.
There's only 3 in that kind of big area, I'd say. You'd say, like...
I'd almost love to see that done more in a show than a movie.
Be kind of interesting.
Because you would follow, like, the military group or the militarized group, maybe it's a militia, and them trying to, like, clear and hold a section of their country on orders from this other group where it's implied that there's this bigger movement, you know, and their struggles to maintain order in, like, a state or, like, a couple counties. Yeah. Would be pretty cool.
Dude, if you do a couple counties, it just really instakes, like, the power that these creatures have. There's not that many per area, I'm assuming. Because, I mean, like...
It looked like they were... I mean, that was a pretty big area.
Yeah, there was only 3. And they covered ground fast.
Yeah, so they're probably very spread out. But they're all over the world. Yeah. So that'd be a really cool, like, miniseries or something. I'd love to see it. If, like, a Netflix picked that up and did that
cool.
in place of, like, the next Cloverfield thing, they do that. I would really like that. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm more...
Because, like, this movie had that spark of, this could spawn some stuff like Cloverfield did.
I never got that from Cloverfield. Why do people
not that movie, not that specific movie, but the universe.
Okay.
Specifically the found footage aspect is what lends itself to a bigger universe. Yeah. Because someone's watching this footage and understanding that, we knew this was going to happen, so here's what happened. That's implied in that movie that, like, the government kind of knew. Okay. You know? And
I got sick during that movie because
that's the shaky cam found footage. Yeah. But the universe of Cloverfield lends itself to what's going on around the world in all these other situations, like 10 Cloverfield Lane, where it's not always that monster, but other things are happening. Yeah. Right?
Yep.
This movie, this universe built around this apocalypse, could lend itself to some really cool stories.
Oh, yeah.
In other formats, which would be really cool to see.
Yeah.
Depending on what they do with this movie. And obviously, if nothing happens, we still get a great movie out of it. I would say it's a great movie. It was fantastic and a fun ride. And we have talked way more than I wanted to about this movie.
It's a good movie. Because
we're probably, 25, 30 minutes into this? After the intro? Yeah.
Well, there's a little bit more in the intro.
Yeah, so, which is not awful compared to where I wanted to be. I guess now that I think about it. So what we're going to move on to next is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the official Bottom Shelf Nerds rankings. Yeah. So what we're going to do is I'm going to read Joey's 6 through 18 through 6 rankings. Yeah. Joey's going to read mine. We're going to offer our commentary. That's the word I want to say.
You're good for Sam.
I said commentary. It was weird.
It sunk in my brain.
You got it. But you've known me for like 20 years. All right. So we're going to go through that, and then we're going to individually reveal our top 5. Yeah. So you'll see that on the graphic if you're watching this on YouTube, which if you're on SoundCloud and you're listening or some other audio format, we'll link the YouTube video too if you want to see the graphic.
Pirate Bay or something. Tom's got the cipher, because I was writing on a shaky table.
What?
You're going to cipher my handwriting a little bit.
Well, you could have wrote it here.
Yeah, a little late.
Yeah, the table is a little shaky.
But we're good. Yeah, I'm already pretty sure.
It's a folding table.
Yeah, we're good. Don't give away. It's an awesome leather-bound table.
I have many leather-bound books, and it's
with denim condoms. I don't know. Like Anchorman quotes.
Okay, so we're starting with Joey's list here. we're going to go 18 through 6. So, ascending order. Oh, damn. You're 7? Oh, dude. I'll have some fun with this. All right. So, his worst movie in the MCU. The reason we're doing this, by the way, is because, of course, Infinity War comes out in a little over a week.
Yeah.
So, we figured this would be a good primer for our initial number 1 episode.
Yeah.
Number 18, Iron Man 2.
I don't remember it.
Which is why it's where it is on mine, too.
Yeah.
It's not on 18, but it's close.
And Tom's is Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, the terrible villain design. The villains in Iron Man 2 were better than the Dark Elves. Ivan Vanko, the guy with the whips. Cool weapon design. Very cool weapon design when he's slicing through cars and shit. And then Justin Hammer. I mean, it's Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell with his dance when he's coming in at the Iron Man Expo. When he's coming into the music. He's just a slick billionaire villain guy without being overtly, he's like
Superman.
Director Krennic from Rogue One. He's that overbearing corporate evil dude.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell, not that. Just his Justin Hammer, not that. But definitely a bad guy.
He was.
That's why I think it's better than.
No.
That's why I think Thor is a little worse.
You got valid point, but like I just can't remember the movie, so I'm just
okay. Hey,
that's why it's 18.
This is the bottom of the barrel, so I understand. Joey's number 17 is Incredible Hulk. Again, we're very similar on this bottom. Very similar on this bottom list, except for a couple of them.
Tom's Iron Man 2.
See, like I said, it's very close to the bottom. Yeah. It's just the villains in 2 and Iron Man 2 bump it over to Thor for me. Incredible Hulk, I can respect where you put it. It's not the way. I mean, none of these are bad movies by any stretch.
No.
We're not saying they're bad.
Yeah.
But there's a definite gap between the bottom and the top of the MCU, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like...
Especially Phase 1. Phase 1 was rough.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it, they were working on acquisitions from Disney, and they're trying to get their formula down. You know, they couldn't even get all their actors lined up, because obviously after Incredible Hulk, Norton was gone. A lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, so...
Yeah. And Tom, we're at 16 yet?
Yeah, you go. You get my 16.
Incredible Hulk!
Like I said, very similar, just a little different order.
It's just... The movie...
Yeah. So this is where we diverge a little bit. Joey has at 16 Iron Man 3, which I think is actually one of the better in Phase 2. Phase 2 for me... I'm gonna pull that up. Joey Vamp.
Is that really Phase 2? But no,
it's the first movie after Avengers.
Iron Man 3 is just I don't know, for some reason disassembling all the suits really got to me, and like them trying to like take away Iron Man's all power, not all power, but like all coverage in effect is what he's trying to do. He wants to be everywhere, make sure the world is safe.
But that's the point of the movie. He's doing too much, and then he needs to let go. That's the point. Is that his obsession is breaking his relationships and making him a worse person. So he needs to rein it in and get his mind right. That's the point of the movie. I didn't get that.
I got people trying to control Iron Man.
That's Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 is them trying to take the suits. Yeah. You're mixing up Iron Mans.
No, it's Iron Man 2.
You're talking about 3. I'm talking about your Iron Man 3
at
16.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Don't they destroy all the suits in the end?
At the end, but that's the point. He needs to let go and just get back to basics. That's the point. Because he's having PTSD, he's trying to do too much, he's stretched way too thin.
That's how you get evolved. That's how you...
Yeah, and he does. He evolves. That's the point of the movie.
He evolves because of that. Because he's done all this work.
No, he evolves because he decides, no, I was wrong.
I need a team.
That's not what he's talking about. You're totally missing the point here.
No, I'm not.
You are. You're missing the point of the movie. I don't think, again, some of it doesn't work the best, so it's not that high on my list either, but
I'm super sad.
I think you're missing. I think you're missing the point. You're more attached to the suits than the character.
I am. I do transmog runs all the time. I like the way most of them looked, and then they just destroy them. I was like, well, fuck.
Joey likes the suits more than Tony Stark.
No, Tony Stark's attractive as fuck. You can't. No, dude.
Okay. All right. So moving on to Joey's number 15, because you get my 16, right?
Yeah, your 16 is Incredible Hulk.
Okay. So your 15, Joey, is Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah. And here's his.
Any thoughts on that?
Thor: The Dark World.
Exactly. It's just fluff, forgettable.
The top 8, honestly, we could rearrange them in any order.
Yeah, you could do them in any order.
And
after that, I would say 12, 13 to that period. 13 to 8, also difficult.
Yeah, very.
8 to 1, difficult.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
But like the bottom, the bottom 5, outside of your Iron Man 3, which is coming up for me, it's not that different for the bottom 5. We're really not that different. We're just rearranging them.
Yeah, essentially just going on there.
Yeah. So what's my 15?
Your 15's Thor. Straight up Thor. OG.
Yeah, it's where I put it because Loki. That's why I really liked it better than he was the best villain in that whole bottom group for me. Not to mention, the setting of Asgard. I love their theme. Their very Shakespearean like dialogue and stuff. I loved it. Anthony Hopkins rules. So that's why I put that. So Joey, you're 14. You have Thor there.
Yeah. I thought Thor was a little bit higher ranking. It's also a nice OG movie to bring in Thor to the world.
Yeah. It was a really good origin. Like, it was a cookie cutter origin, but it got the job done. That's
what most origin seems, though. Most origin movies seem, though, are just kind of very here's the problem. He's getting picked on or something, gets superhero powers, becomes a badass, something bad happens, reason why he stays superhero. A little bit different than Thor, though.
Yeah. Getting, the hero's journey.
Yeah.
Literally, it's like a video game almost, where he gets all his powers, and then he gets them taken away. Yeah. And he's got to rebuild his powers.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. They basically, here's the tutorial, and now you lose everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's very Mass Effect 2?
No.
Doesn't he crash to the planet, though, and you have to
Oh, kind of.
Yeah, so kind of in the aspect.
Yeah, kind of. I can see it.
Your 14 is Iron Man 3.
See, told you. But that's where I have the gap there. I have a pretty strong gap between 15 and 14 for me. That's where I think it starts to separate from me. Is those first ones are pretty much, for me, all phase 1s or phase 2s, and the worst of the phases. And then it kind of jumps up in quality for me there. So, moving on. What's 13, Joey? What's my 13?
Ooh, your 13 is Captain America First Avenger.
Yep. The first 2 acts in that movie, really, really solid. I'm a big Cap fan. That's why I actually put it over 2 Iron Man movies, because I'm Team Cap. Oh, yeah. What up? Cap's the man.
We're both Team Cap.
Cap is awesome.
Huge Cap fan.
And Tommy Lee Jones is fantastic. Haley Atwell as Agent Carter, fantastic.
Oh, great.
Dominic Cooper as Tony Stark's dad, also awesome.
Pretty good.
Really good origin. You get the origin of the Shield and how he became Captain America beyond just how he became a pop culture icon too, because people clearly know who he is in this universe. Yeah. But how did he get there? If he died, how would they know? If he was a super soldier that was a secret, how would he know? Then you get, he became this kind of pop culture figure before he was a soldier.
Yeah, it's kind of...
it makes more sense.
Bond-selling freak kind of
thing.
Yeah,
exactly. And they build that really well. And the third act with the whole fight with Red Skull, kind of lackluster.
The way the Red Skull kind of revealed himself, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Punched him in the face, and it's kind of, ugh.
Yeah.
Now I reveal myself.
It was a whole thing.
Peels the skin off. Yeah.
You're 13... Can't believe this movie is this low. Is Ant-Man. It's a heist movie, dude.
There's a lot of flexing. Movies. If you look at my sheet, you guys can't see it. There's a lot of flexing because I was super confused. They're super confused. Ant-Man was flexing super hard because it was good origin movie, great comedy and everything.
The comedy. I think it's the funniest. The second funniest movie in the MCU because the first we haven't got to yet. We'll get to it later.
Okay, we'll get there. I know what you're talking. I think we do.
Give me something, bro.
It's definitely not Iron Man 2. I'm just saying, comedy's okay in that one.
Yeah. That one's actually got some really good moments.
Out of the Iron Man 2 and 3 soundtracks, who's better?
2, because it was remade. It was the same guy from 1. Or the same themes from 1.
Same themes, yeah.
Which I love the Iron Man 1 soundtrack. Yeah. Ramin Djawadi. Why'd you let him go, Marvel? Why? The dude has done the themes for Westworld, for Game of Thrones, for Person of Interest, for Pacific Rim, Iron Man. Those are all some amazing works. Great. And you let him go. And you just didn't bring his themes back. Go listen to the Iron Man 1 soundtrack. It is fucking metal as hell. It is just metal on metal. You physically can hear metal hitting metal. It's so good. The sound, it's just very evocative and heavy.
It gets you going.
And it fits the character perfectly. And they just went away from the theme. Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah. But
whatever.
Yeah, sorry.
I can't believe you have Iron Man that low.
I'm flexing, bro. Your 13 was Captain America First Avenger.
Oh, yeah, we did that. So you go to my 12. We'll 12? do this in order now. I'm sorry if this is confusing audio listeners.
12 is Age of Ultron.
Yep. I love James Spader. I loved when he was being legitimately creepy. That first scene when he busts out and he's the puppet guy and he's telling them all about how you ruin the world. You don't want the world to get better. You keep the world from change. Yeah. That kind of stuff. Being legitimately, this is a bad motherfucker. And his voice, James Spader's voice is amazing. I mean, he's physically carried a show for 5 seasons on NBC, The Blacklist. I only watch because of James fucking Spader. He is that good. He can carry my attention for an hour by himself with basically nothing else going on in that show, especially for the first 2 seasons. Later on, it gets much more involved with some of the other characters, and they actually get better.
That's good.
Man, that first season, it's literally every time he's on the screen, it's just, James Spader.
He owns it, as you're saying.
All praise to James Spader.
Do you think it was just a budget thing on that? Where it's
I
like
don't
you can only afford one guy?
For what?
Oh, it's like Blacklist. Sorry.
No, it's not just him.
Well, I was just saying, like, money-wise, if you're going to get actors and, like, scenes and stuff.
Oh, no, there's some very good actors in that show. Harry Lennox, he's in the DCEU. He's General Swanwick. He's in Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman. He's the Black General.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's a really good actor. He's in that show. But whatever, you should watch Black.
Yeah, sorry.
Nah. Year 12 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Not that good.
I don't disagree.
Good parts.
The first 2 acts really slowed it down. It's the inverse of Volume 1 for me, which is in Guardians Volume 1, the first 2 acts are really good. Like building the team and getting their interactions with each other. One of the best uses of the team format. Far better than I think than Avengers, actually.
It was more comic book to me in that aspect.
Yeah, it was very psychedelic, but
yeah,
it was very character driven. Like you got where each character was coming from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But the third act falls apart with like the dance off and all that shit.
Man.
And a bad villain, right?
Villain could have been good though. His like
we'll talk about that one later.
Okay.
Where the villain where it was just underwhelming.
Yeah.
Volume 2, the first 2 acts are like, okay, what's going on? Why is Drax laugh yelling all the time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rocket became this huge asshole.
Very big
even
dick.
more than the last one. And it's apparently not that... It's only like a couple months between these movies. Like, they're very tight chronologically compared to the rest of the universe. They're like months apart.
Oh, damn. Okay.
When did Rocket become this big of a douche?
Space craziness.
Right? A Baby Groot, awesome, though. But their villain's better in 2.
Yeah.
Ego,
yeah,
Kurt Russell. Villain was really good.
You can't...
The fight scene when you get the turn of, that's why I broke my heart when I had to put the tumor in her head. I literally like clenched my fist at that moment in the theater. I was like, "Oh, this motherfucker!"
It's going down.
And then you see Chris Pratt and he comes out of the daze like with that weird trippy dolly effect up to his face, like the what? That was such a good turn that the other movie didn't have. So for me, they're really close too.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree with it being in middle of the pack for you. Yeah. It is for me. It's just a little higher for me. So what's my number 11?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
There it is, like I told you.
Yep.
So I've already talked about that one.
Yep.
So Joey, why did you put Captain America at number 11? That's a lot higher than you put the other first phase movies, except for one.
Huge Cap fan.
I agree.
Just
Cap's
massive.
Awesome.
I love the background of him. Super Soldier Serum, pretty cool. What else? He's just, I don't know how to say it, but I have like majority of comics. Big fan of Bucky Barnes also.
Yeah.
Huge fan of Winter Soldier, if anyone knows me.
Oh yeah.
What else? I felt it was good. It was kind of like,
it's just a solid movie.
Yeah.
Not a lot of standout moments, but it's consistently entertaining. Like I rewatched it. It's one of the few phase ones I rebought on Blu-ray.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. And also kind of like, for some reason, fighting the Nazis is always kind of cool.
Punching Nazis in the face.
So good.
All right, so we're up to the top 10 here. Woo. What's my number 10, Joey?
Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. I thought it'd be a little bit higher.
Partly because the hero undergoes some growth.
Very much so.
But not as much as like an Iron Man, where he's totally a different character by the end. Totally.
Yeah, I guess he basically...
Like in the end...
Comes back from...
And you get that at the end when he sacrifices himself to go up.
Yeah.
The movie just ends. Like there's nothing after that. Like there's no moment of he's getting there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He actually gets more of that in Ragnarok than he does in his own movie. So, the psychedelic nature of Doctor Strange, fantastic.
Oh.
The visual effects, amazing.
Yeah. The beginning fight scene's dope.
Awesome twist with the third act villain change. That was great.
Yeah.
The actual using your mind to solve the problem bit at the end, also solid. I just didn't think the hero... I like Cumberbatch just fine. but he just didn't elevate the movie enough to get it into my like really high end. And again, we're talking movies that are really tight here on the rankings.
Oh no, these are all very like we're talking like small cuts. Maybe not Incredible Hulk, but
my 10 through 6 is very tight for me. With a clear top at 6 though.
Yeah.
So I tried to get as really legitimately what I think is the best movie. Again, all subjective. Year 10, Joey, is Age of Ultron.
Yeah. It was good. It was a good group movie. Is that in that aspect?
So you didn't mind the weird Russian accents on Aaron?
You know I don't mind weird accents, Tom. Come on.
Yeah, it was a little off-putting.
Yeah, kind of was.
Oh wow, I really peaked there. Damn. Yeah. My bad, people.
Good.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. Your hoes bleed. No, but yeah, but Age of Ultron up there.
Yeah. Okay, so we're up to number 9.
Yeah, number 9. Tom's number 9 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Volume 1?
1. Yep.
1.
Uno.
Wait.
It's got nothing behind it, so I'm assuming Volume 1.
Oh, yeah. That's the first one. Again, those first 2 acts are some of the best. Is the best, I think, some of the best opening 2 acts of any Marvel movie. Great world building. You understand that this is a cosmic movie. We're talking multiple planets, multiple characters, how they all come together and coalesce in the prison break, how they all use their like individual abilities. Super awesome. Full-grown Groot is awesome. And I actually kind of prefer him to Baby Groot. Baby Groot's one note. You know?
Yeah, it really is. He is.
Which is awesome, very cute, but is a tad much.
Yeah.
Just a tad. I'm actually curious to see what they do with Teenage
mayonnaise.
Groot. Yeah.
Teenage Groot, I think, could be better than both of them.
Yeah.
If they do it right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's where I put it there. And the soundtrack was better in the first one than the second one. The second one did have the better song, which is The Chain, Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of spoiled it for me in the trailer. But again, so did Hooked on a Feeling from Blue Suede.
Oh, they played it everywhere.
When I still remember that trailer dropping with the when the drums start hitting, and then the rocket catches the gun and does the oh yeah. That's one of their best trailer moments right there.
Oh yeah.
But man, Fleetwood Mac's The Chain is so good. They use it twice in this movie. It's in the scene where he's in the ship and he plugs it in and he's listening in the background and Groot's talking. He's talking to Groot and all that. And then it's also in the final fight scene.
Yeah.
Whereas Hooked on a Feeling's not the final fight in that movie. Fleetwood Mac's The Chain is. That opening with just the slow bass in Fleetwood Mac's The Chain. Oh, such a good song, dude. It's one of my all-time favorite classic rock songs. It's so good. And I loved how they used it in that movie. But that's why... But still, I think the overall soundtrack in 1 is better than in 2. It's just the better song is in 2.
Better grouping.
So, you're number 9.
I don't remember what it is.
Thor Ragnarok, which... Fucking shocking that's not a top 5 movie. Like,
it was
legit,
there?
That's the first what the fuck moment in this list.
It's just...
I'm gonna bold that and put it in red.
There's something different about it, like, this is why it didn't quite reach even, like, 6 or 7 ballpark.
Different like what?
Not a Thor movie? That makes sense?
Point. The first 2 were not good. Look where they are on your list. They're bottom 3.
Honestly, yeah. But Thor Ragnarok's definitely better than both of them.
Oh,
clearly.
It doesn't have.
I think it was trying to be too comedic.
That's the point. It's a buddy cop movie basically, where those are always comedies. That's what this is. It's a comedy. It's not an action movie. It's explicitly a comedy, and that was very clear in all the marketing. This is a comedy movie. Like in that first trailer when Thor freaks out with the. He's a friend from work.
Yeah, true.
Clearly, this movie is a comedy. And because of that, it's a damn good comedy. I think it's one of the best comedies I've watched in recent memory. I'm a comedy fan. I like comedy movies.
What's better than Ragnarok?
I
can't think of anything right now.
It's been a while now. But I haven't seen a really good comedy in a while. Like a great comedy. I think the last great comedy I watched, then again, I haven't seen a lot of comedy movies lately because most of them are all the hard R, like drink, like bachelor party movies and stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of yeah.
But start to finish, great comedy movie. The last one I watched, probably The Other Guys.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, oh my god, aim for the bushes, aim for the bushes.
This is like just a step down in terms of the comedy for me because it hit consistently for me. Like I recently rewatched it. I was still laughing my ass off. Saw it 3 times in theaters.
See, if I rewatch it, probably would have rated higher, but I've seen the movie twice.
But, like, the comedy of the fighting, too. Like, when he's like, don't worry, Banner, I'll get you out. Like, stuff like that. Or when he's like, that's what... And he throws the ball and it comes smokes him in the face. You know? Like, their comedy just works so well. Like, and the action's amazing. Like, when Thor gets his powers at the end, like, oh, damn! And then Led Zeppelin kicks off.
Oh, yeah.
You use Led Zeppelin in a movie and you do it well, I'm fucking in.
But there's so... Like, that scene, you could put a lot of music into it, make it awesome.
Yeah, but it's the fact that it's Zeppelin. It's
I know.
an immigrant song, and it's so fucking perfect.
So good.
That's why the movie's a top 5 for me, and I am fucking ashamed to call you my friend if you're gonna have it. There's the door. All right, moving on to number 8.
Okay. Ant-Man for you.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a good heist movie, man. You give me a good heist movie with Michael Douglas, with him spouting I think one of the best one-liners in the entire MCU, which is when Paul Rudd comes like, well, I'm done breaking into places and stealing shit, so what do you need me to do? Well, Scott, I need you to break into a place and steal some shit. The fact that Michael Douglas said that line, yes. Give me more of that in the sequel. I'm all about it.
I definitely think there's going to be more of that in the sequel.
I hope so.
More size changes. A little bit, too.
Well, yeah, of course. They have 2 people doing it, too. So it's going to be pretty crazy. And awesome origin story, understanding... And I know more about Scott Lang in the comics than probably you do. He's a wife beater.
Not a fucking clue.
He's an asshole. This totally different Scott Lang. He's Paul Rudd. He's Paul Rudd playing a Marvel character. Which is totally fine because Paul Rudd's fantastic.
Great.
The comedy in this one also really great. Like very understated. Very Edgar Wright because he helped write the movie. He still got a writing credit. He didn't end up finishing the direction. Which is weird because in Ant-Man they were like, okay, you're a director, you're weird, you're too weird. But then they come to Ragnarok and it's just this weird South African dude and they're just like, fuck it, he's gonna print us money. Like, they had a clear shift in what weirdness they're willing to go with. I think if we'd have gotten right for the full Ant-Man movie, I think it could have been a top 5. Because, man, that dude just understands situational comedy so fucking well. And it would have worked so well with an Ant-Man character. And it really shines in the movie that already came out. If it had been full Edgar Wright, like that train sequence when Thomas the Tank Engine comes to the house. That kind of stuff. Like, that's Edgar Wright. That just screams Edgar Wright. Like, it reminds me of the Hot Fuzz scene where they're, like, playing the Godzilla thing in that little tiny village and they're kicking through the building. That's what that reminded me of. And I'm like, that's Edgar Wright. If we'd gotten that for the entire fucking movie, it would have been a top 5 for me. But we didn't, which is why I put it at 8. Go up to 7.
7 is Black Panther for you.
Yeah. Black Panther, again, this is where it gets tight.
Oh, yeah. This is like, just cutting hair.
7 through 1, you could make a legitimate case for any of these in the top 5. Any of them.
Yeah. It
just became an order of preference. Okay? So 7 for me is Black Panther because I was listening to the Kind of Funny podcast, their MCU in review. Andy Cortez hit on something really, really great, which is that it lacked a moment that made me want to jump out of my seat and go, oh shit. What? Rewind the tape. Play that back. Like, it lacked that kind of just, that wow factor.
Bang. Right? Yeah.
It got close for me, and I understand you cannot separate this movie from the cultural impact it had. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the first movie, outside of Blade, of course, that has starred, and that was just one guy, not the entire cast being in Africa. You know, like, that's a thing. It's kind of like Wonder Woman in that it's the first of its kind to do it, and do it well. Not just do it to do it, but to do it well. It's better than Wonder Woman, though. Like, it's an impeccable movie. Amazingly well acted.
Great well acted.
Great color palette, great costume design. But to me, the story just... And again, great villain. I think maybe the best villain in the MCU. Killmonger's amazing.
Right top, yeah. Definitely top.
Amazing. It just lacked that, oh damn moment that the rest of these movies had. Like, there's a top 5 moment coming up, which you can probably guess, that I want to talk about in comparison to this movie. Okay. And I hope I remember to come back to it. But that's why I have it there. Your number 7, again, shocking that it's this low, because it's most people's top 1 or 2, is Avengers, the first one. Why is it not in your top 5?
Because my top 5 is my top 5, bro.
It's the first team-up. This is the first superhero team-up ever.
Yeah. It is.
And ever, like in live action, I think. I want to say ever in non-TV movie type shit.
Yeah.
Except for X-Men, which is a whole thing because that's not a.
Well, they're already grouped together.
Exactly.
Defaultly.
That's different than multiple single set movies coming together.
Yep.
Different than X2, which I love X2. So why is it 7?
Because I forgot about it.
Well, you remembered when you wrote it down.
No, I didn't. Remember? I was counting. I was like, God, I'm missing one.
That's what
Avengers.
You forgot?
Shit. Yeah, the major one, right? Am I right?
Audio listeners, I just rolled. Well, you're all audio listeners. I just rolled back from my chair when Joey said,
for real,
this movie.
For real, though. I ain't lying.
Wow.
Oh, the funny part.
Oh, we're clipping bad. We're yelling too loudly about Joey forgetting.
And we're leaning away from chairs. Like, it's so bad. But, like, dude, for reals, though. I'm ashamed. Today I was talking comics to someone and fucked up a lot of things. And then I had to come back to him. I was like, dude, I fucked up really hard. I got Thanos and Ultron mixed up. Yeah, dude. Yeah, welcome to my life.
That's a very good Joey moment.
I was really weird flip-floppy today. It was super bad. Super bad.
Great movie.
No, it's good.
All right,
so you're...
Number 6.
Number 6. Spider-Man The Homecoming.
Yeah. Again, any of these could have been top 5. Legitimately. I love Spider-Man. I really love the first 2 Sam Raimi movies. I should probably boost this back up. We're back down. We're back down to being. We're back to being a little quieter here.
Back to good.
I'm still seething a little bit about the Avengers, but I'll keep it reined in. I will stay professional. That way, our audio listeners cannot forget that I'm professional.
I've got that professional at heart.
So, a great villain, Michael Keaton. You get Michael Keaton playing a mustache twirling villain. I'm sold. Because that dude can kill it. And he killed it. Tom Holland killed it. The side character, I'm blanking his name, the guy in the chair. He was actually in a bunch of Rooster Teeth stuff. It's Jacob something, the real life actor, I think. He's awesome. His best friend.
Blanking
on the name. Original character too. Yeah. I think for the movie. Great character. Great supporting character. I love movies that have really solid supporting characters. And I think this is one of the best movies, along with like maybe Black Panther, that has consistently solid supporting characters.
Oh yeah.
That aren't you don't really fit kind of like like that you're more integral to the plot too.
Yeah.
Is important I would say is a better side character than like a Rhodes in Iron Man 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Rhodes really wasn't there too much.
Yeah, exactly. But he was telling where's this
Definitely
guy? He's in the story. And I love that.
Oh yeah.
I love the suit. I love a lot about this movie.
The suit's pretty cool.
Yeah, it just and you get the whole he's the hero for the little guy thing compared to these other movies. The end fight with Vulture though, while they're in the air on the plane, kind of threw me out of it because it's so different than what we've gotten, which is this very situational, like going around cars and he's boots on the ground, small time hero trying to save the day with his wits thing.
Yeah.
But really, it's just him trying not to get sucked into a jet engine for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That kind of pulled me out a bit. But when they're on the ground and he's like trying to be like, I'm not trying to stop you, I'm trying to save you. Yeah. Like that moment, perfect. That's Spider-Man. Fucking nailed it. But half that scene is just half that sequence and act is like.
Yeah.
It's just a little off-putting compared to what we've gotten before, which is why it falls, because the rest of these movies, in my top 5, start to finish, they're great rides. But it's super close. Like,
oh yeah.
Any day of the week, I could have swapped 5 to 4, 6 to 3, who knows. So that, and Joey, your 6 is Black Panther.
Yep. Great side characters, better than compared, because my number 7 is Spider-Man Homecoming.
Wait, I didn't ask you that?
No.
My bad.
No, you're good. And I thought the side characters were way better, and that's why I ranked it higher. Because I loved the James Bond feel when they go down to the
and she's running through all the tech.
And it was like a very just kind of just brought me back to like the old James Bond feel, but just the comedy of them together and just I loved that part. Just I wanted more. I wanted more of that and freaking so good. And also like the virtual driving of the plane was pretty cool. I like that aspect.
Cool. All right, so now we're into our top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start with you, Joey. We're going to start with Joey's top 5. We're going to start with his number 5. Joey, what's your number 5?
Oh, shit. I think I fucked up. What is my number 7 it says?
Homecoming.
Oh, it does. Shit.
Did you list something twice?
I did.
Oh, God.
Fucked up, son.
How many movies do you have on your list? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 here.
Yeah.
So you're missing a movie.
What am I missing again?
Okay, fine. We're going to quick go through your 5 through 1 to figure out what the fuck you're missing.
What the fuck?
All right. Give me your... Don't give me the order. Just tell me the movies in your top 5. Mix them up.
Okay. Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man Homecoming, Civil War, and then Captain America Winter Soldier.
Okay. Go through, in order, the movies in air date, if you can remember.
Oh, God, I cannot.
So here, I'm going to read them off.
Okay.
You go. We might cut this out, people, so we hard cut to a top 5. Don't worry about it. Joey, Iron Man 1. Check it off if you haven't. Incredible Hulk. Iron Man 2.
Incredible Hulk. Iron Man 2.
Thor 1.
Thor. Oh, God dang it. Where'd you go, Thor? There it is.
First Avenger.
Captain America. There we go.
The Avengers.
Avengers. Where'd you go?
You don't have Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I know Doctor Strange. Shit.
Yeah, you're missing Doctor Strange. So, where would you put Doctor Strange? Clearly not in your top 5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
would you move Spider-Man to 5 and Doctor Strange to 7? Just for sake of editing?
Yeah.
Okay. Note to myself. Change the graphic.
To Doctor Strange's 5, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so, Joey. So your number 5 is your Spider-Man, and we've talked about this.
Yep.
My number 5. Iron Man 1. It's the one that started it all. It's the granddaddy of them all. It's the Nick Fury in the shadows. You just stepped into a larger world, son. You just don't know it yet. You know, it's the soundtrack. It's the Phil Coulson. It's the founding of... you figure out what S.H.I.E.L.D. is. Villain's not great, but the suit's amazing. The soundtrack's so fucking good.
Oh, really good.
Yeah. It's all great. It's the best... It's the origin story. You know, it's RDJ being fucking awesome. It's Jon Favreau, it's director, as side character Happy Hogan. Fuck yes. I'm in for that. Great movie all around. So, what's your number 4?
Number 4 would be Guardians, then.
Why do you have it top 5? Because I clearly did not.
Mine was a good comedy, and great just soundtrack. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And I felt it standalone from the Marvel Universe as a good movie, also by itself.
Okay. Yeah,
so, I mean, if
there
it was
no
tied in
tie-ins.
at all,
there is no tie-ins.
It's also great.
I mean, there's the Infinity Stone, but like...
Yeah.
You just get that it's a MacGuffin. Movie. Yeah, it's just a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your number 4? No, wait, I already said that.
Number 4.
My 4 is the Avengers. It's the team-up movie to end all team-up movies until Infinity War. Ultron didn't come close, in my opinion, of capturing that magical moment that is like the final fight sequence, where they're all fighting in unison, and he's like bouncing everything off the shield, like bouncing. Iron Man's bouncing his repulsors off the shield. Yeah. And like Hulk, smash! Great moment, and the puny god moment. Avengers did. Ultron didn't have any of that. It had it in parts, but not in the whole. Really awesome. Of course, Coulson's death is, I think, still one of the more tragic, heart-wrenching moments in the entire MCU. 18 movies in, him dying, quotes dying, because you should all watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's actually, watch the highlights of 1. There's plenty of wikis that tell you which ones to avoid. 1 is rough. You could definitely tell they were trying to stretch it over episodes to get to Winter Soldier. Definitely. Once it gets there, though, damn, son. Damn. It gets fucking great. Fucking fast. Bill Paxton shows up, and he's like one of the best TV villains ever. Yeah. So good. So good! Well, I wouldn't say ever. There's tons of great movie villains, TV villains, but great network television villains.
Yeah, there you go.
In recent history, which narrows it down considerably. Number 3. We're up to number 3.
Iron Man. DOG, man.
It's the OG. I guess, yeah.
Starting off number 1. Big swinger. Saying. Did pretty well.
Big dick swinging.
Big dick swinging. Hey, just going.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
Got him base right away. That's what the coach wanted.
Yeah. He's the leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
You know? Hit a stand-up double.
Yeah. Oh, God, easily. Yeah.
In scoring position from the jump.
Oh, God. He was ready to steal for third.
Right, I mean, Incredible Hulk didn't live up to it, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I think that was the next one. They came out like 2 months apart. Like they were.
Was it really?
They were really close together because it was different studios. It was Universal, Paramount.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was before Disney bought them.
There was no comparison though for like Incredible Hulk compared to Iron Man. I was like, shit.
Yeah, it was rocky those first few movies. While Disney got their claws and everything, very rocky. My number 3, Thor Ragnarok. Like I said, it's one of the best comedies in the last 5 years, just on a comedy perspective. Then you throw in the amazing action, the amazing choreography, the awesome colors palette and stuff with Jeff fucking Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum's pretty dope.
What's her? Oh God, I'm blanking on her name.
Who?
The villain, Cate Blanchett. That's her name.
Yeah.
She's been awesome and been in a bunch of sci-fi, high fantasy stuff. She was Galadriel in Lord of the Rings. So she's been around doing a lot of cool stuff. Yeah. Awesome as Hela. Loki, great. Heimdall back, great. Carl frickin' Urban shows up as Scourge the Executioner in like one of the weak links of the movie, and he's awesome. Like he's still good in this movie. Like, you know, like there's so much good shit in this movie, and they just keep sticking the fucking landing every time they take a leap. They nail it. Like we're going through the big one. Wait, the Devil's Anus? For the record, I didn't know it was called that when I picked it. Like, it's like just like, or like when he once turned into a snake when I was 8, and he knew I love snakes, so I found the snake and I went up to it, and then he turned back into himself and stabbed me. He's like, it's me.
Gotcha.
Like, great, but just such good character interactions.
Did you think they did that too much?
No, it's a comedy. That's what you do. You don't stop in a comedy. It just keeps going.
Open door there. Open door there.
That's the point. That's what it is. They were, and in the behind the scenes stuff, a lot of it is improv because initially, Korg, the piss off ghost, it was a different guy. Like it wasn't. He threw himself in there. I think I'm maybe misremembering this, but he wasn't initially part of the plan. And a lot of it is improv. Like they're comedians, and like Chris Hemsworth is fucking hilarious in real life. This was basically Chris Hemsworth being Thor, not first 2 movie Thor. This was Chris Hemsworth. Remember the Avenger, like the Thor during Civil War spot with his roommate Daryl, when he's like harassing Daryl in his office to be like, compose an email, and he's just spinning the hammer. It's basically that Thor.
Okay.
Which I love. Have some fun with it. You're 18, at this point, 17 fucking movies into this. Have some fucking fun, because the first 2 Thors are some of your worst performing movies, both critically and at the box office. Go nuts.
Yeah.
Break that mold, because that mold's not very good.
It's not a real
it's decent. It's not great, but it's decent. You know, it's like generic cookies. They're not bad, but they're generic cookies. You know? They're not homemade, amazing chocolate chip cookies. You know, oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. Thor Ragnarok is a homemade oatmeal chocolate chip cookie. It's fucking awesome.
Always chewy chocolate chip, man.
Well, that's oatmeal is chewy.
Sometimes oatmeal you got like that.
No, it's not like full oats or anything. It's just they're ground up.
You can always fuck it up though, pretty easily.
Yeah,
more than basic chocolate chip.
You can, but it adds to it because they get that chewy center. It's great.
No.
Shush it. We will have a cookie fucking
fuck
podcast.
Off, dude.
Piss off. Piss off, ghost.
Piss off, ghost.
God.
I'm sorry, but no, those scenes like
and that's the movie. That's one of the few movies I legitimately want to buy to watch the director commentary. Because I've seen some behind the scenes stuff of what they're doing in the director's commentary. I want to watch that fucking director's commentary. Okay. That speaks to how good this movie is.
So I just remember the favorite bit. I was like, I once tried Soul Rebellion once, but I didn't have enough pamphlets or something.
So then my dad and her boyfriend showed up, and I kind of hate him. Great, exactly. It's all so good. Yeah. Like each scene is so good. And Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie.
Oh God.
The piece de resistance. Fantastic. So good in this movie. So that's why that's my number 3. Joey, what's your number 2?
Civil War.
I think our top two are
basically.
I think our top 2 are identical.
Okay.
I think our top 2 are identical in spacing, and probably for reasons.
Civil War, awesome.
Totally agree.
Just bam, everything was there. Action great. You felt division between the team,
and it was believable. You understood the philosophy. Yeah.
It just wasn't like a weird division. Like maybe they could both go. No, it was just bam, bam, sign or not. I don't want to sign. Let's sign. You know.
Yeah, like great emotional moments, like when Rhodey gets hit out of the sky. You know,
Yeah.
you understood that like Mackey's coming to the ground because he's like, this dude's like kind of my friend.
Yeah.
Shit. And then Tony legitimately could have killed him when he hits him with the repulsor. A lot of people like laughed. Half the audience was either laughing or going, "Oh shit, he legitimately just tried to kill Falcon."
Yeah.
Like,
110%. Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
I think it's very.
That is, I totally agree. Great use of a villain too, subverting expectations at the end. They don't even fight him.
Yeah.
They fight each other. He gets them to fight each other. So good, and that whole like, how does it suck to have come so far and still fail? And then his last line, did it. Perfect. Very good. And I also have it at number 2 for all those reasons. So Joey, hit me with that truth there, son. What is number 1?
Captain America: Winter Soldier. Great action.
I think it's the most pure. It's the most pure action movie in the entire MCU, start to finish. It is an action movie. That opening sequence is the best opening sequence in any superhero movie. Period. The boat scene when he's jumping out of the plane, not the running scene. I'm talking the boat scene
where he's just like annihilating a bunch of people.
Exactly. Yeah. It totally ups the ante on everything you think Captain America is capable of doing. It
totally does.
You've seen him now in 2 movies, First Avenger and Avengers, and solid character in both of those, but never a standout. I want this guy to win all the time. He's not like, he's not this larger than life character in those 2 movies. No. Not really.
No.
This one though, when you see him jump out of the plane and they get was he wearing a parachute? No, he wasn't.
He doesn't even.
Or when he's climbing up the chain out of the water, and then when he's running and he just fucking launches the dude with a kick. That moment, cool. That was one of that's the moment that was missing in Black Panther for me. Same with Iron Man with the tank scene where he dodges it and launches a missile down the tank thing. Those moments make me go,
superhero!
Yes. Fucking yes.
And mine was when Winter Soldier finally appeared.
I agree. That was a great moment too. When he launches the dude off the boat with a kick.
Poof.
It was so much better than everything that has come before in the MCU and a lot of what has come after. Oh, yeah. That whole sequence when he takes off the helmet to be like, fuck it, bro. Let's go. And just one kick drops the dude. So good. I love the spy thrillerness too with Robert Redford, Samuel L. Jackson with if you want to beat me, you got to have both eyes open. And he pulls off the thing.
Like,
you didn't know you wanted to see that, but you kind of wanted to. Now you know.
You're always kind of curious. What's under that fucking eye patch?
And like the Maria Hill coming out of nowhere thing with like all these like twists and turns with the story. Yeah. It reminded me of like the best of a Tom Clancy novel, which is very spy twisty turny stuff with some epic action and amazing fight choreography. Like when Winter Soldier and Cap are fighting for the first time with that knife flip, when he's like flipping the knife around, like, oh my god, that was some of the tightest, most amazingly shot action choreography I have ever watched, including like the Daredevil series. There have been some truly standout moments on Arrow, which are a lot of the same director between Daredevil and Arrow. Kevin Taranchadon, I think is his name, or something with that. Yeah. He does a lot of amazing action stuff on those movies. Yeah. Winter Soldier is so far above everything else. I think it's outside of your R action movies like your Dredd, your Kingsman, your John Wick. Winter Soldier, the action in that movie stands up to them. So fucking good. Regardless of PG-13 or not. Yeah. Like, it is so hard hitting. And you buy that this dude's a fucking super soldier. He is here to wreck shop and take names. And he's all out of shops to wreck. Like, you feel that from the jump. And
that's what I'm like.
Yeah. And they nail the man on a time aspect better than the Avengers did. Which, again, more screen time, too, because it's his movie. It's his movie. And they blow up S.H.I.E.L.D. too, which is world-shattering for the MCU.
That's pretty, in every aspect from TV shows.
I think it had some of the biggest stakes in the entirety of the MCU in blowing up S.H.I.E.L.D. and what S.H.I.E.L.D. means to the Avengers in their comic book history. Blowing it up changed everything in the MCU, including the show, which actually made the show so much better. The effects it had on the MCU are unparalleled, I think, so far. We're close in a few other ones. But man, that twist in that Hydra's been running S.H.I.E.L.D. the whole damn time. Damn. That's game-changing stuff for the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
So good. So good.
Yeah. And that's like the fact where, like, God, it's just...
Wow, this is a lot longer than I thought we were going to go.
Like, arguments out there, like, there's some places I've been, look, Batman could be Captain America. Nah, I can't.
Nah, wouldn't even be close.
Can't.
Wouldn't be close. That was amazing. The suit is so cool, too. The suit's so cool. That first moment where you see the suit in the elevator, that elevator fight scene.
The elevator fight scene's hilarious.
Does anyone want, before we start this, does anyone want to get out?
Yeah.
Great line. And then it kind of feels personal.
Yeah.
Such a good line. Such a good line. And there's all these moments when he jumps out of the elevator.
Oh, yeah. That can just... on par.
Perfect. It's the perfect MCU movie, in my opinion. That's why it's number one. So, Joey, we finally came to an agreement there at the end with our top two. And our friendship is redeemed. So that is the end of the inaugural episode of the BS show. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you stick around. This will mostly be an every other week show. Mostly. And it may take longer between episodes because, life happens. Maybe faster, too. Like, within 2 weeks, we're going to go see Infinity War.
Yeah.
So we'll have a podcast up about Infinity War.
Oh, yeah.
Probably after seeing it 2 or 3 times, but it'll be up. It'll be up within 2 weeks of this. I guarantee it. Because that one should be easier to edit because there's no lists to do.
Yeah, there's no...
So that'll be a fun one for me to edit, but we'll see what happens. So, Joey, any closing thoughts?
No. Actually, just a quick thought. Are they doing all MCs?
What do you mean?
All the MCUs in one
in a marathon? Yeah, several places are doing it. It's like 60 hours or something.
I've always wanted to do it, but I don't know if I could just shit 3 days away.
You literally would shit 3 days away.
I would just popcorn and
bring
pop
a bed,
for
bring a
3
bedpan,
days,
bring
man.
a bedpan, and let's go.
God dang. I don't know if
I couldn't stay awake the whole time.
No, I'd definitely be mad.
I'd probably fall asleep during a couple movies.
I had to pick my movies.
I slept through the first 5.
Yeah.
I've seen them enough.
Well,
I've seen them on FX how many times in college?
Oh my God.
Time after time after time after time after time.
Shit.
But yeah, so that's been our MCU ranking, our thoughts on A Quiet Place, and a little bit about our podcasting history. You can find us individually at Mr. Wartburg on Twitter. That's me. Joey is at PrivateJoke1. We're
doing things with my hands.
At Bottom Shelf Nerd. Again, at Bottom Shelf Nerd. No S, because the S didn't fit on Twitter. And Twitch. We're Bottom Shelf Nerds on Twitch. We stream many days out of the week. PUBG, Fortnite. I'm doing a single-player Mass Effect series, which will probably transition to either Fallout or Batman, the Arkham series next. Joey just started Subnautica.
Oh my God.
I might be getting into Stardew when multiplayer drops for the first time. So we'll see what happens.
Stardew.
Yeah. So, of course, we want to leave you with the thought. Never mind. I'm forgetting what I wanted to talk about. Yes.
Never mind. That's deep, bro.
The tagline. Fuck, what did I write down for the tagline? I wrote it down. This is totally fitting.
Eat Twinkies?
No. BS your life away with us every other week here at the BS Show. See ya.
Peace.